Chapter 3, Section 6, Question 1. Earlier, we did not actually teach this section. However, it has become a large part of our 121 course. So we've added it in because it has become very important. And what we're going to do here is split, plug, work, answer. We're going to take the question, which is f minus g of x. And we're going to split it up because a lot of students don't know what this means. So they do f of x minus g of x, and then they multiply it by x, and that's incorrect. So kind of like distributive property, this means we're going to take our f of x formula minus our g of x formula. In my class, you're going to keep this on the left-hand side. Every single line, you're going to have at least 4 lines worth. If you want to write them all out first, that's fine. F of x, we have x plus 3 minus g of x is x squared plus 2x. Now, you'll remember from back in chapter 2, with parentheses, without parentheses, and then you can add and subtract. We're not supposed to be adding and subtracting while it's still in parentheses. So here we go. Question on the left-hand side. This one, the parentheses can just drop. And here we need to correctly distribute. If you continue to distribute a negative correctly, this is going to help amazingly in chapter 6. Descending order by degree. And we have our negative x squared, x and minus 2x negative, careful, negative x plus 3. That is your answer. So if you look again, split, plug, work, answer, this is an interesting new section. This here I could have given to you in a previous section. This is what makes it. We're working on this function notation stuff. Important things here. Chapter 3, Section 6, Question 2. Hey, we have our function notation again. We have g minus f of a. These questions are not going to stop in chapter 3. You're going to see them in pretty much every single section from here on out. And then you're also going to see function notation in your college classes as well. So the steps are split, plug, work, answer. So it's splitting. G of a is first, minus f of a is second. You'll notice we put g first. You're going to have to use the g formula first. A lot of students see f minus g so often that they automatically put the f formula first. Be careful. We are trying to trick you. Don't get caught. Also, this is x. This is a. All of our x's are going to become a's. So when we put our g formula, we're going to take this, but we're going to replace all the x's with a's. Minus, we're going to take our f formula and replace all x's with a's. Split, plug. Oh, it has parentheses. We can't add and subtract while there are still parentheses. We'll lose points. These could just drop. Why do I have them if we're just going to get rid of them? It's to show that this is where you find g of a minus this is where you find f of a. Is to help our brains to identify those two parts. Distributive, making sure we distribute that negative correctly. It's going to help us in all future math classes, but especially in chapter 6. Descending order by degree. And there are our 4 steps of split, plug, work, answer. Showing your work amazingly. Keeping the question on the left-hand side. Keeping the equal signs all lined up. This is what's going to have you getting the highest scores that you can. Chapter 3, Section 6, Question 3. Hey, we're going to still be doing split, plug, work, answer. Here we go. F plus g of negative 4. We're going to split up kind of like distributive property. F of negative 4 plus g of negative 4. Question on the left-hand side on every single line in my class. Many college professors doing that, not all college professors doing that. Hey, f of negative 4, we had that earlier in chapter 3. We're going to take that and plug it in. and get -4 plus 3. By the way, I could have used parentheses instead of brackets, but I know that I'm going to have to use brackets here when I plug in my -4 in for -4 squared plus 2 times -4. Then, order of operations. I am okay with having an abbreviated order of operations since we're no longer in chapter 1. Hey, groups first. We have -1 plus groups first. 16 minus 8. And then answer. If you need to show all order of operations work very slowly, go for it. I would rather that you got the answer correctly than just had 4 steps. If you want to have more steps, some of the problems on maybe the homework quizzes test, if you want to make sure you get it right the first time, you might want to show a lot more work to make sure you get the correct answer. Chapter 3, Section 6, Question 4. Plugging and simplifying. Now, we have been doing split plug work answer to get 4 lines of work. If you notice here, we don't really have a split step because it's already split. Now, some students are saying, hey, I am so used to doing it, I don't want to forget on any of the other problems. So if that makes you feel better to do that first step there, great. F of 2, we're going to plug in a 2, and we're going to get 2 plus 3. We can use parentheses or brackets. I'm going to use brackets because, ooh, hang on, that's not an equal sign. We're going to plug in the g, and we will need -3 squared plus 2 times -3. So usually we go back and forth between parentheses and brackets. Even without this step here, it is entirely possible that we're going to need some more steps here. Let's see, this is 5 plus, that would be 9 minus 6 is 3. Hey, look, that would be a wonderful way to get our 4 steps of split plug work answer. If you don't want to put this one and you still want to get your 4 lines, you could make this into a 2-step using our order of operations, make it a little bit longer. Some people actually do exponents first, multiplication second, and then addition and subtraction last. It actually comes out to be a much longer problem. Chapter 3, Section 6, Question 5. If you take a look at this, it's going to be important for you to see that this is drawn in blue, that is your f of x, that this is drawn in red, that is your g of x. In the event that you have a black and white copy of your homework, your quiz, your test, anything like that, please make sure that, for example, you look at the soft copy online so you know which is which, because it's going to be important here. Find f of 3. You might remember that f of x equals y. So if I have f of 3 equals 3 is your x, and it's equal to what number here for y? F is this blue one, and I have a point 3, -2. So if I think about the ordered pair 3, -2, when x is 3, y is -2. That is your answer. This is what we're thinking about. You do not actually have to write that. We just need to see that. But wait, there's more. We have g of 3 equals. So g of 3, we're going to take a look here. This is the ordered pair, 3, -1. So if we think about 3 and -1 for our g of x, then x is 3 and y is -1. Ooh, not bad. It's asking, can you read off of a graph paper and then translate it into function notation? In college, some students forget that f of x is equal to y. They forget that this is secretly an ordered pair. It's just written in function notation. Then, if you remember our split plug work answer, we have f plus g of 3. We are going to want to split f of 3 plus g of 3. question on the left-hand side of every single line, this is gonna work in anybody's class. Whereas some of the teachers tell you you don't have to put it on all the lines, that will only work in their class. I'm preparing you for anyone's class. Now, what is f of 3? We just found it. F of 3 is -2 plus. G of 3 is -1. We don't have to do the split plug work answer because, hey look, we're gonna finish a little early because -2 plus -1 is -3. You will see all of these things in your college class.